Good afternoon. We are going to be covering IXL assignment RMH, interpret graphs of proportional relationships. Let's first take a moment to review our coordinate plane, so essentially a graph. When we have a coordinate plane, that is a two-dimensional surface that is formed by us taking two number lines and crossing them. The horizontal number line, so remember horizontal, that goes with your horizon, that goes left to right, it is your x-axis. Then the vertical number line, so remember vertical goes up and down, that is your y-axis. One way I remember this is x. If you x something out, it usually means no, and if you shake your head no, you go left to right. Y stands for yes, and if you shake your head yes, it goes up and down. Where those 2 points meet, so the center of your graph right here at 0, 0, that special name is the origin. Now, when we have a graph, one of the things we have on a graph is an ordered pair. An ordered pair is a coordinate. It is a way that we can locate where something is on the map. Your ordered pair always goes in the order of your x value and then your y value, because remember your two axes are your x-axis and your y-axis. When you are trying to plot a point or graph an ordered pair, those are synonyms, you start at the origin, so the center. So if our ordered pair is 6, 2, 6, the first number is our x value, so we're going to count over 6 spaces along the x. So I'm going 6 spaces to the right, and then 2 is the y value. So we are counting up 2 places. So that's one skill that we're going to need today in order to complete our IXL assignment. The second skill is everything that we are working with is going to be a proportional relationship. So to refresh your memory, when you have a proportional relationship and it is graphed, these following two traits must be met in order for it to actually be a proportional relationship. The first is that it needs to be a linear equation. So if we look within the word linear, that first part of it is line. That means it is a straight line. So if it's a straight line, our constant of proportionality is the same, which is what makes it increase or decrease by the same amount, creating that straight line. The second requirement is that it has to pass through the origin. So in order for the straight line to be a proportion, that second requirement has to also be true. It must intersect, it must pass through the origin, so point 0, 0. All right, let's head on over to IXL. All right, here we are on our assignment, interpret graphs of proportional relationships. So every single graph we have here is going to be a proportional relationship. So Russell's space shuttle crew accidentally left him behind on a mysterious planet. He soon realizes that his body is aging much faster on this planet than it did on Earth. The graph shows the proportional relationship between the number of weeks Russell spends on the planet X and the number of years he ages Y. And if we look below our graph, our question is we want to know what the ordered pair, what the point 8, 10 represents. Let's break this down. First off, our first little paragraph here kind of sets the scene for us. We have a science fiction scenario here where Russell is left behind on a mysterious planet. And then I do notice that it tells us the number of weeks Russell spends on the planet is represented by the variable X. If we look on our graph, that matches. So here we have our x-axis and our label is weeks. So that means all of these numbers represent weeks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. We also learned that the number of years he ages is represented by our y. And that also matches our graph. Here we have our y-axis. And our label tells us years. So that means those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that is years. So if we want to know what the point 810 represents, we're going to be looking at our labels. I'm going to set up a label here, refresh our memory. Remember, an ordered pair is always an X first and then a Y. So if we look at our X values, remember our X values represent weeks. And then our Y values, we look at our graph, we look at our label, that represents years. So that means any ordered pair we have is going to be how many weeks end up being a year on this mysterious planet. In this case, the point 810, well, 8 is our first number, so 8 is our X, so that means 8 weeks. And then 10 is our Y value, so that means 10 years. So when I read my answer choices, it needs to be something along the lines of 8 weeks equal 10 years. So when he's on that planet for 8 weeks, that really means he has aged 10 years. If I scroll down here, might have to clear some of this so we can read it. Our two options are at 10 weeks on the planet, Russell's body has aged 8 years, or at 8 weeks on the planet, Russell's body has aged 10 years. I know I cleared it, but remember this one was our answer choice. And if we scroll back up, we can confirm that. 8 is our X, so 8 weeks on the planet. 10 is our Y. Our Y label is years. He aged 10 years. So that second choice is what the point means on the graph for this story. All right, here's our next one. King High School has asked Dean to paint some murals around the school, and Dean is thrilled. His mural in the main office will show a ray of sunlight breaking through the storm clouds. Dean creates the perfect gray for storm clouds. The graph shows the proportional relationship between the number of cans of black paint X and the number of cans of white paint Y that Dean mixes together. And we want to know, what does the point 5, 3 represent? So once again, I'm going to really kind of break this one down. So let's make sure that we see what everything is labeled. That's the biggest part of this, is reading the labels. So that way you can understand what the graph and what this specific point means. So we're told that the cans of black paint is represented by our X, and yes, sirree, that does match what's labeled. And then the white pans that he's mixing, white paint cans that he's mixing with it to make the gray is our Y. And yep, that does in fact match. So now that we've identified that, we can look at our ordered pair. Let's make sure we don't get our ordered pair mixed up. What comes first? Our X. So in an ordered pair, our X comes first, and then our Y is second. So in this case here, our X value of our ordered pair would be 5, because we go over to the 5 on our X-axis. So 5 cans of black paint. I'm just going to do B for black paint. Then our Y value is the 3. So notice we go up 1, 2, 3 spaces, and that leads us over there. So he needs then 3 cans of the white paint. If we look at our two answer choices here, he mixes 3 cans of black paint with 5 cans of white paint. Nope, that's not what we have written down. How about our second one? He mixes 5 cans of black paint with 3 cans of white paint. Yeah, that one matches. That is what this point means. In order for him to get that perfect gray for the storm clouds, that's the ratio he needs. Let's bump it up a level. The basketball gym at Maria's school was built in the 1940s and needs a lot of repairs. So the school is asking families for donations to build a new gym. Maria convinced some local businesses to match a fraction of the family's donations. The graph shows the proportional relationship between the amount of money a family donates in dollars X and the matching contribution in dollars from local businesses Y. And we want to know what the point 50/20 represents. All right. Well, if I look at my ordered pair, I see the 50 is my X value, and 50 represents the dollars donated. So we have $50 donated. Then in an ordered pair, remember your Y value comes second. So the Y value is our 20. So look right here, 20 on our Y, and that is the dollars matched by the business. So then $20 matched. Let's read our two options, see which one's correct. When a family donates $20, the businesses contribute 50. Nope. When a family donates 50, the business contributes 20. Yeah, that's it. Because the dollars donated is blue. That's our X value, 50. Then the businesses contributed in red. They contributed the $20. Let's go up another notch. All right, the Crafty Clay Art Show has invited Jaden to make and sell his famous decorative plates. He molds the plates out of clay and then paints them. The graph shows the proportional relationship between the number of plates Jaden makes X and the amount of clay he uses in pounds Y. We want to know what point Q represents. So the difference here is this time it's not giving you the ordered pair. It's just giving you the point. And you have to do that extra step and identify the ordered pair too. But that's okay, we can do it. And remember, with an ordered pair, your first number is your X value. So here we have our X axis, and that is representing plates. So in order to get to this point, I have to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means 7 is our X value. Let's go ahead and put the label with it. It is 7 plates. Now, the second number in an ordered pair is always our Y value. So our Y, remember, is vertical, that is up and down. So we started at the origin, we went right 7, but now we need to go up however many spaces along the Y-axis I need to finish that ordered pair. So we left off here, so we're counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But oh my goodness, you know what I just noticed? Yes, I counted up 7 spaces, but I made a big mistake. What is our graph counting by? Is it counting by 1s along the Y-axis? No, it's counting by 2s. So even though I went up 7 spaces, it was counting by 2s. So I really went up 14. I should have counted 2. Let me actually redo the counting here to make sure it's all clear. We should have counted like this: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So be careful of that, guys, because I even made that mistake. It's easy to just assume that it's counting by 1s, but sometimes they could count by something else. And 14, our label is pounds. So we found our ordered pair. So the point Q is the ordered pair 714. And in regards to what it means, I'm going to read these in a second, but it'll be something about 7 plates being 14 pounds, or needing 14 pounds of something. Clay, that's what it was. So Jaden uses 7 pounds of clay to make 14 plates. Nope, if we look at what we have here, it's 7 plates and 14 pounds. So second option, Jaden uses 14 pounds of clay to make 7 plates. Yeah, that matches. 14 pounds of clay to make 7 plates. Let's do one final problem, all right? The student council is decorating the gym for the school dance. They are hanging strands of twinkle lights. The graph shows the proportional relationship between the number of strands they hang X and the number of twinkle lights Y. And we want to know what point G represents. All right, once again, we need to find the ordered pair first, as well as interpreting what it means. Ordered pairs, what comes first? Our X value. So here is our X axis and it represents strands. Let's see what it's counting by, not make the same mistake. It's counting by ones. So I start at the origin, and to get to point G, I only need to count over 2 spaces. So 2 strands is our X value. Then remember, your Y value comes second. Your Y axis is vertical, so up and down. What is that counting by? It's counting by 5, so I need to do that skip counting by 5 when I go up. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And if I look at my label here, 50 in fact matches. And our label for that is twinkle lights. I'm just going to do TL for twinkle lights. When I read my options, I need to make sure what is being discussed is that we have 2 strands, and that contains 50 twinkle lights. Let's erase some of this here so we can read it. Once student council hangs up 2 strands of lights, there will be 50 twinkle lights around the gym. Yeah, that does match. I'm going to read the second one just to make sure. Once the student council hangs up 50 strands of lights, there will be 2 twinkle lights around the gym. Nope. Clearly, we have stated 2 strands, 50 twinkle. All right, it's your guys' turn to try it. Go for it. Be very careful. Make sure you read it closely. Look at how your graph is counting, and I know you can do well. Bye.